Imagine a new drug that could stop deadly skin diseases without shutting down your immune system. Right now, there is a race underway in Europe's biotech sector that could unlock this very future. But it all hangs on one risky acquisition, a €12 million grant, and the toughest regulators in the European Union. This is not just about science. It is about power, politics, and the future of life-saving treatments. Today, we dive deep into why Scinai Immunotherapeutics' bid to acquire Italian biotech Pincell has the whole industry watching, and what it means for patients, investors, and the global race for innovation. Let's set the stage. Scinai Immunotherapeutics is a biopharmaceutical company based in Jerusalem, publicly traded on the NASDAQ. They specialize in developing biological treatments for inflammation and immunology, with a pipeline that includes innovative nano-sized antibodies. But their ambitions reach far beyond their home base. In March of 2025, Scinai announced a binding option to buy 100% of Pincell, a cutting-edge Italian firm. Why Pincell? It all comes down to their lead drug candidate known as PC111. This fully human monoclonal antibody is designed to target the Fas-Fas-L pathway, a key culprit in devastating skin conditions like pemphigus, Stevens-Johnson syndrome, and toxic epidermal necrolysis. These diseases are rare, but when they strike, the results can be catastrophic. Patients suffer extreme blistering, pain, and in many cases, death. Current treatments often suppress the entire immune system, leaving patients vulnerable to infections and other complications. But here is what makes PC111 so revolutionary. It blocks the specific pathway causing the skin damage, without putting the rest of the immune system at risk. According to Professor Lars E. French from University Hospital Munich, the Fas-Fas-L pathway is a critical target in skin blistering diseases, and PC111's non-immunosuppressive approach could be a game changer. The science is promising. In animal models, high doses of PC111 reduced blister formation by more than 90%. The European Medicines Agency has already granted it orphan drug designation for pemphigus, a highly coveted status that can speed up approval and grant market exclusivity. But turning this promising research into real-world treatments is anything but simple. Scinai needs money, lots of it. Their Polish subsidiary has applied for a €12 million grant from the European Funds for a Modern Economy program. If they win, they can fund the next stage of clinical development and push PC111 closer to the patients who desperately need it. This brings us to the heart of the conflict. On June 5th, the Italian government granted regulatory clearance for Scinai's option to acquire Pincell under the country's powerful Golden Power regulation. This is a major win, removing one giant roadblock. But it is just one step on a treacherous path. The deal is not done. Scinai must satisfy several more conditions, including securing that crucial €12 million grant. And even if the money comes through, they still have to navigate a minefield of further regulatory approvals, clinical trial risks, and the looming threat of competition from bigger pharma giants and biosimilars. Meanwhile, every delay means real patients go without new hope. As Tony Amato of Pincell put it, "This partnership is our best chance to advance PC111 in the fight against pemphigus and SJS10. So here is the burning question. Will Scinai pull off this high-stakes acquisition and trigger a new era in targeted dermatology treatments? Or will the hurdles ahead prove insurmountable? So, what happens next? The future for Scinai Immunotherapeutics and Pincell is balanced on a knife's edge. On one hand, if the €12 million grant is approved in the coming months, Scinai will have the resources to accelerate clinical trials for PC111. This could move the therapy ahead of competitors and pave the way for early regulatory submissions in Europe and the United States. For patients suffering from conditions like pemphigus and Stevens-Johnson syndrome, that could mean relief years sooner than expected. But the risks are real and immediate. Should the grant fall through, Scinai will be forced to seek alternative funding. That typically means diluting shares, negotiating with venture investors, or even risking development slowdowns. As Professor Donna Colton of the University of North Carolina points out, even the most promising therapies can face unexpected headwinds in funding and late-stage clinical testing. There's also the challenge of integrating Pincell's operations and protecting valuable intellectual property across international borders, especially as the Italian government's Golden Power regulation grows ever more vigilant. Competition is heating up. Several pharmaceutical giants are already investigating the same Fas-Fas-L pathway. Any delay could allow others to overtake Scinai's lead, especially if biosimilars or alternative antibodies prove easier or cheaper to produce. And while PC111's results in animal models, over 90% blister reduction in mice, are impressive, clinical trials in humans bring their own risks of unforeseen side effects or less dramatic efficacy. Despite these hurdles, the potential payoff is enormous. Success could position Scinai as a global leader in immunology, with revenues from PC111 funding further innovations. There is even speculation that a larger pharmaceutical house could swoop in to acquire Scinai, eager to bolster their own inflammation and immunology portfolios. So, what does all this mean for you, the viewer? First, this story is a powerful reminder of the long, challenging journey from scientific breakthrough to real-world medicine. Drug development is never straightforward. Companies must leap regulatory hurdles, secure financing, and outmaneuver rivals, while never losing sight of the needs of real patients. As an investor or industry observer, staying alert to grant decisions and regulatory news can reveal opportunities before they hit the mainstream. On a broader canvas, PC111's journey shows the growing importance of targeted therapies that minimize side effects. If successful, it could transform not just how we treat rare skin diseases, but also how we approach autoimmunity more generally. The lesson: keep an eye on companies that can pair scientific novelty with smart business moves. So, will Scinai pull it off? The odds are better than ever. With regulatory approval in Italy checked off and promising scientific results, the company is poised for a breakthrough, if they can land that critical €12 million grant and navigate the remaining challenges. If everything falls into place, PC111 could reach the market in the next few years, changing lives and potentially rewriting the standards of care for devastating skin conditions. Here's a secret fact. Behind the scenes, some in the industry speculate that Scinai's expertise in nano-sized antibodies could extend far beyond dermatology, opening doors to treat other inflammatory disorders. The story of PC111 might just be the opening chapter. If you want to stay ahead of the curve on biotech breakthroughs and how they shape the global economy, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications. What do you think? Will Scinai's gamble pay off, or are the risks too high? Share your thoughts in the comments below.